Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into how ChatGPT has evolved from just a chatbot into, well, a taskmaster, something that can actually take real-world action for you.
So, what if your chatbot could actually do things? I mean, you're probably used to asking ChatGPT for ideas, right? Maybe to draft an email or summarize an article. But something huge has changed. The tool you thought you knew isn't just a conversationalist anymore. It's become a full-on platform, ready to get things done for you.
All right, Section 1, Beyond the Basic Chat. This is the call to adventure. For a new user, this whole journey really starts the moment they notice something different in the chat window. New buttons, new menus that hint there's a whole world of capabilities just waiting, way beyond just generating text. This is that first step.
And this is the fundamental shift right here. ChatGPT is no longer just for ideas, it's a hub for getting things done. We're talking about going from ideas to action. So instead of just brainstorming a trip to Paris, you can actually book the flights. Instead of just outlining a marketing plan, you can fire up Canva and generate the social media posts right then and there. And the best part? It's all happening inside a single conversation.
Okay, Section 2, Entering the App Marketplace. This is about discovering a whole new world of tools. So where do all these new powers live? Well, if you're new to this, you'll pretty quickly spot the Explore GPTs and App sections over in the sidebar. Think of this as the front door to a massive marketplace of tools. Let's dive in and see how it's all laid out. Now, it's really important to understand the ecosystem here. There's a key difference between two things. On one side, you've got custom GPTs, and there are over 3 million of them. These are basically specialized experts built by the community. Think of a personal coding mentor or a savvy travel guide. But then on the other side, you have official third-party apps. These are deep integrations from big companies, like Expedia or Canva. And these are the tools that let ChatGPT actually do things in the real world.
And this whole universe of tools is organized into categories that make a lot of sense. You've got productivity, lifestyle, writing, programming, the whole shebang. So whether you need a tool to help you analyze a PDF, an assistant to check your grammar, or even a lifestyle app to whip up a workout plan, it's super easy to browse and find exactly what you're looking for. All right, Section 3, Putting Apps to Work. Time to master your new tools. So you've browsed the marketplace, you've found some cool apps. Now what? How do you actually use them in a conversation? How does a simple chat suddenly become this powerful command?
Well, the process is actually incredibly simple. It's just 3 steps. You start your prompt just like you always do, but then you just type the @ symbol, and boom, a little menu pops up with all your available apps. You just pick the one you want, tell it what to do, and you never have to leave your chat window. It's seamless.
Let's make this super concrete. Remember that trip we were talking about? Imagine typing this right into the chat. At Expedia, find me flights to Paris next weekend for 2 adults, nonstop if possible. You're literally calling on the Expedia app right there in your conversation. And this is where the magic really happens. Expedia doesn't just spit back a boring list of text. No, it actually goes to work. It searches for live flight data in real time and then presents you with interactive options right there inside the chat window. Think about that. You just turned a simple conversation into a real-world transaction, just like that.
Okay, Section 4, The Rules of the Game. It's time to understand the limits and guardrails. Because, look, any powerful new technology is going to have its own set of rules. As you start to get comfortable with these apps, you're definitely going to run into some of the practical limits and the safety guardrails that are built into the platform. First thing to know, your access isn't infinite. It's all managed by different subscription tiers, and each one comes with its own message caps. A free user gets a few messages, a plus user gets a lot more, and so on. And why do these caps exist? Well, because running these incredibly powerful models costs a ton of money. And this is basically how OpenAI keeps the lights on and manages the load on their systems.
But for you, the user, hitting that cap can be, well, really frustrating. This quote from a Reddit user just nails it. You're deep in the middle of a creative process and you have to wait for 3 hours because you've hit the cap. It can just completely stop you in your tracks, right in the middle of an important workflow or creative session. It's definitely a key part of the user experience you need to know about. Now, beyond those technical limits, there are also some really important policy guardrails. One of the biggest rules is the ban on what OpenAI calls tailored professional advice. And this is a really critical line they've drawn in the sand. So what does that mean exactly? It means that OpenAI's policies explicitly restrict these apps from giving you unlicensed medical, legal, or financial advice. So an app can give you general info about finance, sure, but it absolutely cannot give you personalized investment advice. It can't diagnose a medical condition or tell you what legal strategy to use for your specific case. These are designed to be powerful informational tools, not licensed experts. That's a huge distinction.
So let's bring it all home. Section 5, from chatbot to platform. After you've learned the interface, you've mastered the tools, you understand the rules, your whole perspective shifts. You no longer see just a simple chatbot. You see a powerful platform.
And you are definitely not alone in seeing it this way. We're talking about nearly 900 million weekly active users. That is just a staggering number. This ecosystem has basically become the central operating system for how millions and millions of people interact with AI. The scale is just, wow.
So the real takeaway from this whole journey is a sense of empowerment. You've gone from being a passive user who just asks questions to an active operator who can command this huge platform. You now have one single entry point to a whole world of specialized intelligence and, more importantly, real-world action.
And that profound shift from simple conversation to actual execution leaves us with one final question. It's no longer just about what you can ask the AI. It's about what you can do with it. So now that AI can actually do things, what's the first task you're going to give it?